Hello. What's going on? So this is the inaugural video of From Drugs to Love and everything in between. I'm BZ Meeks, and this is Jay Dizzle. And we're just going to riff on life a little bit. Now, warning, disclaimer, this is going to be said in every video, just in case you YouTuber commenters that argue about Justin Bieber and Jesus. You can say whatever the fuck you want. We don't claim to have the answers to life, but all we're going to talk about the answers that worked in our life. And if you jive on that, cool. And if you don't, that's cool too. We look forward to reading about your arguments about Justin Bieber and Jesus. Anything you want to add right now, Jay Dizzle?
No, I think we can get right into it.
So, what I felt like I wanted to talk about this episode, and we're going to sort of do a little interplay here and play off of each other because we interact pretty well. But I wanted to talk about, for me, use of language and how incredibly destructive language can be, and how even the greatest orators in the universe actually use language against themselves, and how incredibly limiting it is. And Jay Dizzle, he might have something he wants to touch on this episode. He might not. I'm not
That's
sure.
True. I might be quiet. I might be.
He's an observer. Oh, he just got a text message. Should he check it while we're recording? Jaden, we'll take this moment and hit pause on record, and you can check that message.
Oh yeah.
I'll take this moment to take a quick beer sip. So, like, one of the things that I wanted to touch on about the use of language and how destructive it is Jaden worked with me for a number of years, and he heard me talk a lot. And so he heard me for years and years and years, because he's actually a great listener. Here, this is perfect. Actually, I like this. He used to watch me put myself in a box with my words and close it tight. I wish there was a lock on this right now, but this is only a dresser, so no one's going to see this but us. But he would watch me talk myself into a box and shut it, and then open the box and talk myself back out of it, and then talk myself and put myself back in. Now, you're probably wondering what I mean when I say talk myself into a box. And what I'm just going to give you a really quick practical example. When you meet people and you say, "Hey, I'm Bruce. What's your name?" Jaden?
Jaden.
Nice to meet you. You know what, man? I'm terrible at names. I'm totally going to forget you. Why the would you ever say that? Why would you tell someone instantly when you met them, this is what I'm bad at? Why would you do that? I don't understand. Jaden, do you have anything to expand?
I think sometimes people do that. That's their own nervousness or their own insecurities around. Sometimes people just like to unpack their shit right away. There's that as well too, but it doesn't always come across, and can always be perceived as something else. It could be a nervousness. It can come from a lot of different sources.
Now, what I've learned recently, Jaden, and you could agree with this or disagree with this, and we're filming this because this is like really, we're almost going to do philosophical debate as we share our answers to life. I feel like I'm coming in at low value. If I say I'm bad at names, I'm basically telling you, A, I don't think I matter enough to remember who the fuck you are, and B, I actually don't give a fuck enough about who you are to learn or pay attention or be curious about you because of my belief in my low value.
I agree that there definitely could be some truth to that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's detrimental to you, and it's detrimental to me for me to even just come in at low value so quickly.
For myself, I don't know if that would necessarily be detrimental, because I just think that my perspective on people is a little bit different, in the sense that I would probably more perceive that as I could see that you were maybe nervous, or that could be an insecurity, so therefore I wouldn't play too much on whether you remembered my name or not, because likelihood I probably would forget your fucking name too the moment you left. So
you did. See,
be honest.
You can't win. Basically, the reason we're filming From Drugs to Love and everything in between is to tell you can't win, so
There's
don't
no
try.
winning, so don't even bother trying. Yeah.
However,
There's no right doing or wrongdoing, just a field in the middle that hopefully you can meet each other at.
really, the reason I want to film From Drugs to Love and everything in between with my collaborator Jay Dizzle here is to learn that whether I'm coming in at low value or high value,
You're still valued.
only function in life is to be good to BZ Meeks, about BZ Meeks, for the love of BZ Meeks. And I'm friends with Jaden to help him mirror that back to me. His function in life is to be good to Jay Dizzle, about Jay Dizzle, for the love of Jay Dizzle. And so the reason I'm talking about language and the whole box demonstration, because I really like this actually. Ooh, talk myself into the box, talk myself out of the box, talk myself back into the box. Oh God, talk myself back out of the box, is because if I'm going to be good to BZ Meeks, about BZ Meeks, for the love of BZ Meeks, I'm not going to walk up to someone, meet them, and say, hi, my name's BZ Meeks, and then instantly tell them that I'm terrible at names. If I'm being good to myself, about myself, I'm actually going to come in, I feel, in high value, and just be like, hey, my name's BZ Meeks. What's your name? Jay Dizzle. Shit.
It's all right.
I don't know where he lives, just so you know. You cannot stalk this man. That I'm just going to be like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm genuinely curious about you. I want to learn and teach and heal, because that's what every relationship is. Whether it's a 5-second interaction or a 5-year interaction. That's what relationships are. And I just feel like it's a terrible step in the wrong direction to just say, I'm bad at names. I'm not going to remember you. Oh, God, don't hate me.
Yeah, I think that kind of has a perspective, though, on the nature of the relationship, though, too, right, BZ? In the sense that, like, I can understand if you are out and you're meeting a young lady or a young man, depending on whether you're male or female or whatever your choice is, where that could be taken as a high value or low value type of a thing, because the essence of that connection is different. The potential of where that could go is different, as opposed to, I don't know, if it's just a customer or a random stranger on the street. It is kind of what it is, I guess, for me.
So I'm going to pace back what I think I'm hearing, and I could be way off base. Are you talking about what intention I'm coming in with even before I speak?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Because, I mean, really, that is it. We should always kind of be checking in with ourselves before we even put ourselves out into the world. And sometimes you just are nervous. And if you are nervous and you do need to make that statement, then make it. But, you know, try to be light on yourself about it as well, too. We're not always on our top games.
No, and that's essentially why we have decided to start this channel and do these videos, is to take an observer's role when we're doing well, and take an observer's role
when we're not doing
when we're not doing well. Because I've learned a radical take on forgiveness, and I really, really connect to it, and I actually think it's cool. The take on forgiveness is taking the observer's role. It's from this crazy book I read called A Course in Miracles. Don't quote me on this. It's not copyright. Don't sue me, whoever's watching this video.
They can. It's not copyright.
Oh, right. Right. Anyway, A Course in Miracles version of forgiveness is forgiveness merely looks and waits and judges not. In other words, when I become aware of how crazy I am and not further punish myself or further react against that, that's actually forgiveness. It's not making the error real. I'm just observing.
That's an interesting platform, but if I could reiterate,
Uh-oh.
in the beginning, wouldn't that be the same as saying that whether it's high value or low value? Is that not judging? From a very basic
Wait a minute. So wait.
standpoint. So if we're coming in, you meet me, and I'm feeling in a low value mood that day, and I say, hey, I'm Jaden. Nice to meet you.
What's
I'm
up?
probably going to forget your name
Yeah.
because I'm poor at this.
Right?
Would that not be a judgment based on... Because I'm not being high value? I would be low valued in your world of what would be correct or right or safe for you?
Are you talking about my reaction to you coming up and saying I'm probably going to forget your name?
Yeah. Based on the own judgment that you have on yourself around doing that.
I would have to take responsibility for my reactive behavior to that and look and see what would come up within me when I would hear you say that. The reason I'm doing this video or about language today is I've really become aware of all the devaluing language I use when I interact with people. I'm not going to punish another person for using low value language.
Yeah.
If that have a high enough permission relationship, like with you, I might ask what your purpose was in using language like that if I had the platform to ask you. If you're not in the space to be asked, or I don't have permission, then I'll just be quiet. However, if I know you well enough, I would ask you to question it.
Fair enough. It'd be nice if all of us could just be in a place of high permission relationships. And I actually maybe you should explain what a high permission relationship is, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last time you're going to hear this term.
So a term that I apply to relationships is the idea of a high permission relationship. And the high permission relationship to me is creating a feeling for another person. I have a deep connective friendship with Jay Dizzle. And regardless of what's going on in his life, regardless of his emotional state, positive, negative, it doesn't matter. My feelings for him stay the same. And another way of saying that is I just let him be whatever he wants to be, and I'll still talk to him the next day. Because in my life experience, I've observed everywhere, and it's because I've carried this in me too, low permission relationships. As in, things are good till it gets tough, and then I'm out. Or like in the scene Shallow Hal, when Jason Alexander says, I broke up with this girl because her second toe was longer than her big toe.
Yeah,
that's
a pretty
fucking
low
gross.
permission relationship.
That what? Really? Her second toe was longer than her big toe, so you dumped her? Come on.
That trims his dating market down to quite a few.
Yeah, my second toe is longer than my big toe. I felt rejected,
Yeah.
and that was just a movie. So, the reason why I like the idea of high permission relationships is because Jay Dizzle. I'm going to be very open about my life experience, people watching this video, and I don't give a shit. You can't use this against me. I'm never going to be a politician. You can't smear my name any more than it's already been smeared. But I've had a substance abuse issue for years, and it's been a spiral, and it's a pattern, and I go around in circles, and this guy still talks to me, and this guy still loves me. And that was where the idea of a high permission relationship spawned. I could go off for months and be on a fucking bender and not go to bed for a month and get really droopy eyes and look like shit. And he would know. I go to work and he'd be like, you look like shit. I still love you. And that was where the idea came from, a high permission relationship. Really, I can be whatever I want. I can be a junkie on the street. I could be a politician. I could be whatever the fuck I want. And this guy still loves me. This is something I think I want to practice a little more often.
However, no, I'm just joking.
No, I like this, however. No, work with this.
Well, however, for me, where that came from is my steps when I was a user and doing my own drug binging on weekends and fucking my own life up and having a very low permission relationship with myself to allow myself to be or to put myself in such harm, that through my steps and through things that I've learned and read, I learned that, you know, if I can start accepting myself in all fashions of Jaden, so the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever is going to come up, the fucking obsessive, neurotic, whichever sides, because there's many, I'm complex, that if I could find love it for myself in any of those situations, it was a lot easier to be able to grant other people in my world high permission relationships as well.
And to bring this in a roundabout way rather than a box, the high permission relationship is actually one of forgiveness. Remember, I was talking about how forgiveness merely looks and waits and judges not. A high permission relationship with myself or with Jaden or with anyone is actually letting it be and just observing. I actually like that I made that connection. I tied it around.
I know.
High permission. High permission is forgiveness.
Yes, it is.
Because that means I'm not putting someone in a box and
Or
then
ourselves in a box.
or ourselves in a box and then punishing ourselves when we don't look like the box.
Where they don't look like the box.
I'm liking this box for demonstration purposes. So we are reaching our time.
Yes, we are.
15 minutes.
So we're gonna check out. It's nice meeting you all.
That was episode 1 of From Drugs to Love and Everything in Between.
It'll get better.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Or maybe it won't.
Yeah. This was
No,
just a
it'll get
dress
better.
rehearsal. No one's going to see this. We'll be doing take 2. Take 2. Thanks.